Our guest is James Lemon from the Growth Work. Thank you, James. Thank you, James, for coming here. I am Nathalie Pliervirovac, the program director and in relations with hotels for Vatel USA. Vatel is a hospitality business school that have 50 campuses all over the world. Here in the United States, we partner with Alliance International University. Today, James Lemon is going to present the Growth Work. It's a platform, amazing opportunity for students, young professionals in the hospitality industry to get in touch and work with mentors. So in the hospitality industry with specific field of expertise. And we will also have Laura and Steve, who are mentees already working on this platform and working with mentors. With no further ado, I will introduce Saba Ozyurt, the program director at Alliance. Saba, would you tell us about Alliance and this beautiful partnership we have with Vatel?
California School of Management and Leadership is a business and management school within Alliance International University. We are a small private university, and we have multiple campuses throughout California. California School of Management and Leadership is located within San Diego campus. And we have multiple programs, one of which is what Natalie just mentioned, is our MBA program with hospitality management specialization or concentration. This is a program that is, as we call it, CPT approved or curriculum practical training approved, which means that students, as they're going through their program, MBA program, that they are allowed to work or do internship throughout the program, which is obviously very attractive to a lot of students. It allows them to not only to gain experience, apply their knowledge while they are studying and learning, but also to earn some money. Obviously, it's always helpful to students. We also have an MBA program with information systems technology and digital marketing specializations. These are our more technology-oriented programs, and those programs are also CPT approved. In addition to the MBA programs that I oversee, we also have a master's degree in data analytics, in information systems and technology, in healthcare analytics. And we also have some undergraduate programs, one of which is the hospitality management program. Feel free to reach out to me if you're interested in any of our programs. By the way, we also have short-term certificate programs in those different areas of studies that we offer in technology. And we're also looking into offering some certificate programs in hospitality as well. So feel free to reach out to Natalie or myself if you would like to get more information about our courses and offerings. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Saba. Now to introduce the Vatel program and the Vatel schools. Vatel, as I said, is a hospitality business school with a group encompassing 50 campuses all over the world, many in Europe, 5 in France, Spain, Russia, China, Philippines, everywhere, Africa. So the school that we have here in San Diego and soon Los Angeles again is a program for the MBA program. It's done in 1 year of academic program. And during the academic program, as Saba was saying, this program being CPT approved means that the students are able to work up to 20 hours a week while studying. So it allows them to start a good professional experience and earning money as well. And then after the first year, the program is dedicated to work experience. And so the students can enroll in OPT, which is a work authorization, allowing the students to have a full-time professional experience for at least for a maximum of 12 months. So this program is really oriented in expertise academically and professionally, and that's the reason why we are so happy to partner with the Growth Work and James Lemon, because having a mentor in these early years of the professional life, being an internship or as a young graduate, it is so important to have this connection with people in the industry who can really help and show the way on becoming a really good professional. So I'd like now to introduce James Lemon, who I'm so happy that we can share these hours with today. Thank you, James, for being here and bringing your beautiful guest.
Kind of what I want to talk through really is really how, like, people are going to be at the heart of this industry forever, and it's us that are going to power the recovery. But we've got to recognize things are very tough right now. It's a really challenging environment to step into as new graduates. And so we want to kind of help equip you with the tools and the reality that you're facing. And of course, through mentorship, I think offers a really nice guide over the next couple of years. So I'll talk a little bit about who we are and the journey that we're on as a business. Talk a bit about how we see today's reality, of all of our mentoring discussions going on around the world every day, what we see on the front line. Some emerging themes about what you might want to think about in terms of what's coming next. How to take charge of your career, what I call the employability checklist, but really tactically, what could you be doing day to day to make sure you've got the best chances of success in the recovery? And then really just introduce, some skills areas I think are important, the way our platform works. And of course, it's an open invite. It's completely free to join. So who are we and why do we deserve to come and chat to you? Well, the Growth Works, we really are hospitality experts at heart. I spent 5 years in IHG, the Holiday Inn and Crowne Plaza and Intercon brands, 4 years in Travelport, one of the big travel tech companies, and a couple of years in startups before starting the Growth Work. So we've seen all angles of the industry, and our DNA has always been, we want to help build a sustainable future. We want great strategies and innovation to be part of how we work in hospitality, but it hasn't always been. And that really made a lot of sense to us, that at the start of this crisis, in addition to obviously our kind of core consulting services, we would try and put the right people in the room to have great discussions about the future of the industry. And that really led to what is our mentoring program. So what are we seeing? Well, look, it's a really tough time in the whole economy, but obviously we've picked really the wrong industry for this particular crisis, and things are especially tough for us. At the same time, I think you chat to senior leaders and they'll tell you that it is a cyclical industry, and this is much worse than before. It's almost unprecedented. We'd ever shut hotels before. But at the same time, once you've been through a couple of these cycles, there are toolkits and playbooks, and there are ways to act in a recession and a recovery that it can be learned and can be shared. I think with this crisis being a lot deeper, we're seeing a real need to adapt new technology, new ways of working and practices really quickly, because the market's moving so quickly, because the way consumers are behaving is changing week to week, month to month. We as hoteliers have to think, well, we need to drive revenues in a different way. We need to look after our costs in a different way. And I think that's going to mean more innovation and more technology. The industry needs people who can solve problems. Are you stepping into this as a future leader or an entry-level employee thinking, I know what I can bring. I know what the industry needs, and I'm building my own skills in that space. The industry is only going to be solved by the people in it. Tech can't fix it itself. And so we stepped in and we thought, well, actually, maybe we can play a role here. As people are studying, or when they finish their studies, or when they just join the community without coming the academia route, perhaps if we could provide support, development, networking opportunities with the best of the industry's senior leaders, then we can actually encourage better outcomes, better employability, people to be happier at work and more successful. So that's our bold mission. Here's 3 skills areas I would definitely think about for the next few months and couple of years. One is hotel technology can be more critical than ever. The only way to run more lean and more efficient is going to be putting technology in front of our guests, and then of course back of house as well, to manage our staff and rotas and communications, to manage the core systems of the hotel like property management, and obviously to manage the way we distribute to guests and work on our websites. There's a real debate and battle going on between who owns the customer. Is it the hotel and the hotel companies bringing in guests direct through loyalty programs, websites and apps? Is it guests coming through third-party channels like Expedia and Booking.com? And then lastly, I think we're going to move away from this very narrow view of the industry defining success as bedroom revenues. We talk about RevPARs and ADRs are probably terms you've heard. I think we're going to be talking much more of an industry about total revenues, much more creativity around perhaps we should be making money from restaurants and food delivery. Perhaps we should be using our event spaces in more creative ways for pop-up restaurants or art galleries. Perhaps we should be doing more around co-working or co-living. Lots of really interesting opportunities that's more than just flogging hotel rooms. So just some industry themes there that I would definitely lean into if you're thinking about, well, what am I going to be discussing at interview? What do I need to get familiar with? What should I be reading about? So I want to get into what we call our employability checklist. There's really kind of 6 steps that I want to leave you with, that if nothing else from today, you can at least take away. Even if you violently disagree with it, I definitely need to make these points. The first thing to say is you are not alone. This is not a thing that's just hitting people studying in 2020 or just graduating right now. Today's reality is tough for everyone. And in our platform with over 150 people, we've got people at all levels of business who are either now out of work, or they are, uncertain about their jobs, or they're in work and actually working harder than ever because there's fewer people and more to be done. But the big question is, are you ready? Step 1 of our employability checklist is, have you confronted reality yet? I can't make this year easier for you in terms of how competitive it's going to be and the way you're going to have to lean in and step up your efforts to get out there, be confident, and find work. It's absolutely tougher than it was last year. And that's obviously something you're going to need to confront, but it's also something you're going to have to embrace if you're going to want to make a success of your early career. And you absolutely still can. There are lots of pockets of opportunities for those people who prepare, are proactive, and they know what they're looking for. So as I go through this checklist, the second thing to do is, have you looked at yourself yet? Have you prepared yourself? Do you know what you want to do next? And do you know why? Have you thought about your best days at work and what you enjoy? Have you thought about the kinds of teams you want to be on? Have you thought about the content of your work? Do you love being out in front of guests, or do you like being more back of house and working with numbers and data? There's lots of different roles out there in this industry. The best early leaders are the ones that are already getting certain about the kind of things that they enjoy. That's not to say that you've definitely got a path set for life and that you have to be a GM by 35. Great if you've got that drive. If you're still finding a way, that's fine. But do have that self-reflection. Just think about, actually, what are my strengths? What have I already learned? And what do I enjoy? The third step is really about how broad is your horizon. Again, if you know you want to be a front desk manager in a 5-star luxury hotel in Los Angeles, you're going to have a really tough job market right now. But actually, if you're thinking, it's more about serving people, it's more about, quality, there's certain aspects of that experience that if you boil it down, actually, could you look more broadly? We're seeing lots of the disruptive funded businesses like Sonder still growing quite quickly, which is more about service apartments. It's more about tech-led Airbnb type management. Marriott Homes and Villas is another one. And then outside of traditional hospitality, we're looking at people like the tech companies in the space, who are still recruiting customer success teams or sales teams. And they're still thinking about the hospitality industry, how it's going to be unlocked with technology, and how we can help hotel chains and guests have a better future. So actually, that's not too far from what you've studied. They bite your hands off if you've got real hotel experience and you know how hard it is running a night shift or looking at revenue management or being out there managing sales accounts already. And then, of course, it might be that for a couple of years, you do need to sidestep away from what we call, the hotel business for a couple of years. And we're seeing people who are looking at the experience you've got in customer service, in what we call being an SOS industry that's just really solving problems on the fly, in things like loyalty, solving customer problems. There's a whole series of transferable skills you've got that you could easily switch into some of these big recruiting online players in the customer service. And then step 4 is really where we start to get into it. Get proactive, speak up, build and grow. If you're great, you're absolutely taking the first step by coming to events like this. Have you got a question planned? Do you know what you want to ask the team? Do you know what you want to get out of it? You get certain chances at events like this or on LinkedIn forums to speak up, show you've got a point of view, show you're smart, and show you can get things done. And it's a great test case for when you're at work, because it's exactly the same. If you never speak up, if you never write down your point of view, people won't know if you just don't get it or if you don't care. Whatever it is you feel passionate about, just start writing some of that stuff down, get it published, show that you're interested. Even change your LinkedIn to, freelancer. and show that you've got a bit of a personal brand and that you're willing to get stuck in. Only way you're going to get a job in 2020 is showing a lot of passion for it. Now, I understand you can't do hours of research for every job. And I believe me, more recently than you might think, I've been searching for jobs, and it's really demoralizing not hearing back from people, especially if you're applying for lots. But just make sure before you click send on LinkedIn or the job platform, you spend 5 minutes on your website. And kind of step 6 here is just make sure you've taken a couple of minutes so that a short cover letter or the first couple of lines on your resume do reflect what that job is about. But I just really wanted to kind of put that to you, that this year is going to be all about being proactive. It's going to be all about confronting your reality and getting yourself out there with a personal brand and a digital profile that shows you've thought about what you want to do.
We have a session starting in January and then another one in August. We are really looking forward to developing this partnership with the growth work and offering more and more opportunities to our students to become amazing professionals and represent the new generation of managers in the hospitality industry.
Perfect. Thank you for having us. And thanks to all of our panel for giving up their time once again to kind of share their thoughts and give back. But thanks for having us, Natalie and Ali, and great to be here. And good luck to everyone. It is tough out there, but there's definitely it's time to collaborate and pull together.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, James. Thank you to Patrick and Laura, Estelle, Steve to have joined us. It was really, really interesting to learn about the platform from your perspective. Thank you also to all the attendees who registered to see this webinar, and we hope to see you soon.
Bye, everyone. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.